Good afternoon. I know it's Wednesday, but I had some stuff that I had to do yesterday, so didn't get a chance to record this, but this is Tuesday night's episode. Our first topic is Hollywood Night of Dancing with the Stars and the second elimination. Before I start the individual scores, it was definitely the best the best episode of Dancing with the Stars ever this season so far. First off was Leah and Tony, who danced to Skyfall from the newest James Bond movie, and they had the rumba. Her moves were a little bit off, but keyword on a little bit. It was a very good emotion. It was one of her best dances, 24 out of 30. Corbin and Karina had a very quick step. They literally put the quick and quick step. It's the fastest footwork I've ever seen. Pretty good dance too. Got great reviews from the judges, 26 out of 30. Elizabeth and Val had the foxtrot. She had good form and good frame. Her footwork was good. Got the judges a little bit ruffled up, which is nothing new. There's always at least one ruffle per episode. 25 out of 30. Brandon Pita had the quick step, pretty good for an injured foot. He had injured his foot earlier this week, and he had a bad week, to be honest with you. He injured his foot, he lost his phone, and he got robbed at gunpoint. So it was a bad week for him. But score-wise, it was a good week. He had good movement on his quick step, despite a foot injury, 27 out of 30. One of the highest scores of the night, I believe the highest score of the night. Valerie and Tristan had the cha-cha. Footwork was very jumbled, she was very slow, and she had trouble remembering the steps during rehearsal. Whether or not that's her age starting to kick in, because she is 74, or if it's her brain, where the brain cancer was, even though it is diminishing, it could still have effects of memory loss. She got a 16 out of 30. Bill, Ingle, and Emma had the Paso Doble, and it was to the theme from Lone Ranger. There actually was a Paso Doble in there. It was very entertaining, and he did really well. It was his best dance, according to the judges so far. 24 out of 30. Amber and Derek had the Charleston, one of two couples that had the Charleston this week. The Charleston is a dance that originated in the 1920s, and it's very flamenco-themed, very different. You don't see it as much because it is very hard to do. Interesting modern spin on an older dance. Great choreography. Again, it's Derek. What do you expect? 24 out of 30. Jack Osborne and Cheryl Burke had the cha-cha. A little stiff, but good rhythm, 22 out of 30. Christina and Mark had the Charleston as well. Interesting concept, a little too show-offy for me as far as the dress goes and the very provocative moves. That doesn't really have to always be in a Charleston, but they still got a 26 out of 30. She was actually one of the three that was in the bottom grade, but she did not go home. Next was Snooki and Sasha. Quick step, good footwork, great quick step. For a short person like she is, 25 out of 30, that's a good score. And lastly came Bill Nye the Science Guy and Tyne Stuckline. They had a jazz theme. He tore a tendon in his leg last week, but still decided to dance. We weren't actually sure he was going to compete until like 10 minutes before the show ended. He finally said that he thinks he could do it. He barely moved, but it strangely fit the theme. He also got a 16 out of 30, and he was the lucky dude that was eliminated. Which, in a way, I'm glad he's gone, because he sucked. But now I'm worried about Valerie, because she's been hiding behind him as a safety net, as far as scores goes, and now her safety net is gone, so now she could be vulnerable next week to leave. But if she does, she does. If she doesn't, that's good. There was no announcement as to what the theme was next week, so it's either not going to be announced until the night of, or they're just not having a theme this week. They could be just dancing to songs. Next segment is our reel-to-reel review, and this week my movie of choice was actually a production called Gershwin on Ice. This TV movie figure skating production is headlined by America's sweetheart, the lovely and talented Dorothy Hamill, and aired in 1985, honoring the music of George Gershwin. Dorothy and her then-husband Ken Forsythe purchased Ice-Capades shortly before this production. Ice-Capades is now commonly known and compared to the current yearly touring celebrity figure skating event called Stars on Ice, usually sponsored by Smuckers. At least it is here in New Hampshire. Along with Dorothy Hamill, performers included Tiffany Chin, Alexandra Farev, and Anita Hartshorn and Frank Sweeting. This particular performance, the 1985 performance, was recorded at Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. Although the version I watched, which is the 1986 version, seemed to have very little of Dorothy skating, I believe she was currently pregnant with her child when the first version of this aired. She did reappear in 2001 in their remake of the same performance. While Dorothy no longer competes, she leads a skating camp for adults and children every year, usually traveling to a different location each year. This year it was in Arizona, Scottsdale, I believe. She also has her own skating rink in Connecticut and spends a lot of time in Nantucket, where she grew up. She also hopes to once again become a regular performer with Stars on Ice's yearly performances, as long as her body and schedule allows. Hopefully Manchester's edition of the tour will see her in the winter. Next up, it's fall season, so I wanted to do a special TV show recap. Some of these shows have already started, and some of them have started their final seasons, and others are already gone. So the following are renewed for this season. Again, many of them are already started their seasons. Two Broke Girls on CBS and The Amazing Race are both safe. American Dad is originally from Fox, but has been renewed and is moving to TBS. American Idol on Fox is sadly still on, and so is America's Next Top Model on the CW. Also returning to the CW is Arrow. ABC has renewed The Bachelor and The Bachelorette for both another cycle. NBC's The Biggest Loser starts next Tuesday, I believe. Looks like it's going to be an interesting Biggest Loser season. It's all about second chances. That's their theme this cycle. I saw a teaser for it last night, and it looks like they're going to do some judge saving as well. Like, the judges are going to save, not the judges, the trainers are going to have a choice to save a member of their team if they feel like they were voted off wrong, or they think they still deserve to be here. The CW also renewed Beauty and the Beast for their second season. Blue Bloods is returning for season 4, and Bob's Burgers is returning for season 5. On Fox for Bob's Burgers, and CBS has Blue Bloods. Fox is also returning season 9 of Bones, which airs Monday nights at 8. This season looks a little interesting for that show. It looks like they're being spied on, and it's a big conspiracy thing. The Big Bang Theory on CBS has been renewed for 3 more years, so no cancellation in that show's history for a while. CW has renewed The Carrie Diaries for season 2. Castle is returning to ABC for season 6, airs on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Chicago Fire was renewed for season 2 on NBC, however has moved to Tuesday nights at 10 versus their Wednesday night position they used to be on. NBC also renewed Community for their 5th season. CBS renewed CSI and Criminal Minds. CSI is returning for season 14, Criminal Minds season 9. ABC obviously renewed Dancing with the Stars for season 17, as their competition is going on as we speak. No word on if there will be a season 18, although I do believe that they were signed up for 20 cycles. So I think we should be good for at least another 2 years. Elementary on CBS was renewed for season 2. Family Guy for season 10 on Fox. Also returning to Fox is season 2 of the following. Fox's Glee was renewed until 2015, so all you Gleeites are safe for another 2 years. The Good Wife on CBS has renewed its season 5, and Grey's Anatomy on ABC is returning for its golden 10 season. Welcome to the double digits. Grimm on NBC and Hannibal have both been renewed. Grimm is returning for its 3rd season, Hannibal for its 2nd. Heart of Dixie on the CW has returned for season 3. How I Met Your Mother has returned for CBS, but it's in its last final season. Season 9 will be the last one for them. Kitchen Nightmares on Fox has been renewed for season 5. Last Man Standing on ABC, season 3. Law & Order SVU on NBC is in number 15 and doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Modern Family is on ABC for season 5, and also reruns of the past 4 seasons can be seen now on USA. The Mentalist on CBS is returning for season 6, The Middle on ABC for season 5. Mike and Molly, I am not certain as to what season this is. I believe it's season 2 for them. They're on CBS. Fox renewed the Mindy Project for its 2nd season, and ABC ordered a 2nd season of Nashville. NCIS and NCIS LA are both returning. NCIS for season 11, NCIS LA for season 5. ABC renewed The Neighbors for season 2, and Fox renewed New Girl for season 3. CW renewed season 4 of Nikita, which I've never actually even heard of, so that shows you how much I watch that station. ABC did renew Once Upon a Time for season 3. Parenthood on NBC, season 5. Parks and Rec on NBC, season 6. Person of Interest on CBS got its 3rd season, and Raising Hope on Fox got its 4th. ABC renewed Revenge for season 3, Revolution for season 2 on NBC. ABC also renewed Scandal for season 3 and Shark Tank for season 5. The Simpsons on Fox are renewed until they reach their 25th season. They are currently on their 23rd. Suburgatory on ABC is renewed for season 3. Supernatural CW season 9. CBS renewed Survivor until 2014. 2.5 Men until it's currently season 11, and they also renewed Undercover Boss for season 5. CW renewed The Vampire Diaries for its 5th season, and The Voice will have 2 more cycles on NBC. And lastly, Fox sadly renewed The X Factor for season 3. Those are your popular station shows. I didn't get into TLC and Lifetime and all that because that would just be a wicked long list and I'd be here all day. Next we have our canceled or ending programs. You already know that How I Met Your Mother is in its final season. We also have ABC canceled Body of Proof, which I'm quite upset about because I love that show. The Cleveland Show on Fox was ending, or is ending. CSI New York on CBS has had its final showing, and CSI Miami was canceled last year. CW's Cult is gone. Also gone from NBC is Deception and Do No Harm. ABC thankfully canceled Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23. CW canceled Emily Owens, MD. Fox canceled Fringe, which caused a little bit of a fringe because a lot of people love that show. I hated it. NBC canceled Go On. CW canceled Gossip Girl. NBC canceled Guys with Kids, which was a Jimmy Fallon show. That one was okay. ABC canceled Happy Endings and How to Live with Your Parents for the Rest of Your Life. ABC also canceled Last Resort and Malibu Country, which was Reba McEntire's newest show. Pretty much a spin-off of her own show, Reba. NBC canceled The New Normal and The Office. CBS canceled Partners. ABC canceled Private Practice and Red Widow. CBS Rules of Engagement. Smash was canceled by NBC. Thank you. Touch on Fox. Up All Night on NBC. Whitney on NBC. And 0 Hour on ABC. Also canceled Breaking Bad, which made the headlines all week last week and into this week. And TLC/A&E also decided to jointly cancel Hoarders. Lifetime canceled Army Wives. A&E also canceled The Glades. Happily Divorced ended on TV Land. Wendell and Winnie on Nickelodeon. Fashion Star on NBC, and Betty White's Off Their Rockers also finally got the axe. The Goodwin Games on Fox were canceled, and Save Me on NBC. Also canceled is Burn Notice from USA. The next section of this series is the new series that were ordered, and I will give you a rundown on some new series. Some of them have started already, some of them are premiering this week, some tonight. I'll give a short recap of what each of them is, and just let you know what's coming to your TV soon. CW is starting a new show called The 100. It's a mid-season filler, so you will not see it until probably after football. It's a science fiction series based off of Cass Morgan's book series. NBC has a new show called About a Boy. It's based on a Nick Hornby book and has no premiere date. Again, most of these no premiere dates will probably be seen after football season. Fox has a new show called Almost Human. It's an action-based police drama set 35 years into the future. Has no air date. NBC has a new spin-off from Extreme Makeover Home Edition called American Dream Builders. This will be hosted by Nate Berkus and has no premiere date. ABC has Back in the Game, which appears Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Comedy about a single mom and her older father. It's okay, it's not the best. Believe on NBC is similar to The Tomorrow People, which we will get to in a later section of this show, only with a girl. It's a drama created by J.J. Abrams. It has no premiere date. Betrayal on ABC's is a romantic drama with a lot of provocative cheating. You know, obviously the name of the show is Betrayal. It pretty much describes itself. This is on Sundays at 10 p.m. on ABC. NBC's Blacklist appears on Mondays at 10 p.m., and it's an FBI-themed thriller. Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Fox is on Tuesdays at 8:30. Police comedy about a carefree detective and a serious detective and how they mix together. I haven't watched this show yet, but it sounds pretty funny. NBC returns Chicago Fire for another season, obviously, and they also have created already a spin-off of Chicago Fire called Chicago PD. This has no air date. I'm assuming it's after the football season, and it focuses on the Chicago police. Crazy Ones on CBS airs Thursdays at 9. It's a comedy with Robin Williams. NBC has Crisis, which is a drama series, no air date, about a school bus ambush and ransom, including the president's son. Obviously, this is a fiction show because the president doesn't have a son. Fox has a new show called Dads, which airs on Tuesdays at 8. It's a mix of Ted and Family Guy. Kind of interesting mix there. NBC has Dracula. It premieres October 25th at 10 p.m. It's a drama based on Dracula and how he would live in the modern world. Fox has Enlisted, no air date. It's a comedy about 3 Army brothers living on base and growing up. Fisher on NBC has no air date as well. It's a half-hour comedy about a family who overcomes challenges and grows closer together. This originally was called The Family Guide, and they changed it to Growing Up Fisher. Next is a show called Gang Related. It's on Fox. It's an action Los Angeles gang task force, so it's an action drama, really. No air date. The Goldbergs appears on Tuesdays at 9 on ABC. It's an 80s themed comedy about a weird family. That pretty much sums it up. Hostages on CBS is a Monday at 10 p.m. show. It's a thriller. That's about all I can say about that. CBS Intelligence, February 24th at 10 p.m. That's way fit away. It's a crime thriller dealing with modern-day technology. NBC has Ironside. Premieres tonight at 10 p.m., so it will be on all Wednesdays at 10 p.m. It's a New York Police Department police drama. MasterChef has reissued a new episode of their show called MasterChef Juniors. It's on Fox, Fridays at 8 p.m. It's a new taste of the hit show MasterChef, with kid chefs ages 8 to 13. I absolutely love this show. It's so inspiring to watch these young chefs cook amazing food. ABC has 2 new shows, actually 3, in a row here. Killer Woman is a female version of Walker, Texas Ranger with no air date. Lucky 7 airs Tuesdays at 9. It's a lottery-themed comedy about co-workers who win the lottery. It's actually quite stupid. And Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. airs Tuesdays at 8. It's a show based on a comic book, and I believe it once was a show that David Hasselhoff started a long time ago. This is the show that took the second night of Dancing with the Stars away, so you can figure it out. NBC, the Michael J. Fox show, airs Thursdays at 9:30. It's a reality comedy series, is what I'll call it. It's based off Michael J. Fox's life and diagnosis of Parkinson's, but it's a fictional character base. CBS has The Millers, premieres Thursday at 8:30, comedy about a family. NBC also came up with this crazy show called The Million-Second Quiz. It's an online-based quiz show with 12 consecutive days of quizzes, and then, like, the top 2 people get invited to perform on a TV show and do the same thing to win. It's quite confusing, and I'm not a fan, and I hope it doesn't last. Mind Games on ABC and Mixology are both coming in the future. Mind Games is a comedy about 2 brothers who help patients by using psychological manipulation. Kind of reminds me of Frasier a little bit, but it's not the same. And excuse my hair, I have no idea what's going on with it. I think the fan doesn't like it. Mixology also has no air date, and it's pretty much a modern day spin-off of Cheers. CBS has the new show called Mom. It's Mondays at 9:30, comedy about a mother and daughter both in AA. Kind of looks funny. They had a funny commercial on it where the mother and the daughter are eating at a restaurant, and she tells her waiter that they're in AA, and the daughter goes, AA is Alcoholics Anonymous, not Alcoholics Tell Your Waiter. I just cracked up when I heard that, because it is kind of funny. Murder Police on Fox is a new animated comedy series created by the same writer as Family Guy, only it's more of a police-driven drama. I'm not quite sure how that's going to last, but we'll see, because animation is kind of over. Along with returning Once Upon a Time, ABC also created a spin-off of Once Upon a Time, calling it Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. This premieres October 10th at 8 p.m., and it's pretty much a spin-off of Once Upon a Time, even though Once Upon a Time apparently was renewed. CW has The Originals, premieres tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, sorry. It's a vampire family spin-off of The Addams Family, written by the producers of Vampire Diaries. Fox has a show called Rake that is coming, and it's an American spin-off of the Australian show with the same name. It follows a criminal defense lawyer. CBS has Reckless, no air date. It's a legal soap opera. So, finally, a new soap opera. Maybe Devil and the Restless will get kicked off. I don't know. CW has Reign. Premieres October 17th at 9. It's about Mary Queen of Scots. That one actually looks pretty good. I won't know until I actually see it, but it sounds good. ABC has a new show called Resurrection that also sounds good. It's not premiering until March, however. It's a fantasy show about a family whose deceased relatives are returning from the dead. It looks, and helping them solve current issues. It looks really, really interesting. NBC has Sean Saves the World. Premieres Thursday at 9. Comedy similar to Michael J. Fox's show, only about Sean, I can't remember his last name. But it's similar. Sleepy Hollow already started. It's on Fox. It's a show based off of a popular Halloween tale. It's on Mondays at 9. Star-Crossed on CW is a mid-season filler. It's an alien-related fantasy show. ABC has gone way south with Super Fun Night. Stars Rebel Wilson. She's a little bit heavy. And it's a comedy about an overweight girl who is still having fun despite her weight. It's just a little weird for me. It's on Wednesdays at 9:30. Surviving Jack is on Fox. It's a comedy based on Justin Halpin's book, I Suck at Girls. No air date. CW has The Tomorrow People, which I mentioned earlier. It premieres October 9th at 9 o'clock. It's a paranormal series about a man named Stephen with paranormal abilities. It looks interesting. Trophy Wife, again, Tuesdays at 9:30. A woman marries a man who has previous children and is forced with the challenge of step-parenting. It's a little out there. It's kind of like The Neighbors, only a little bit more Americanized. It's a little weird. Undateable on NBC. At first I thought this was going to be a dating series, but it's a comedy. It's a half hour about single roommates. I don't know. We'll see. Fox has Us and Them. It's a comedy about young lovers whose happily ever after relationship is complicated by the dysfunction around them. Has no air date. We Are Men, CBS, Mondays, 8:30. It's a comedy similar to 2.5 Men. If you ask me, I think it's a hint to come regarding 2.5 Men, but we'll see. Welcome to the Family is the last new show. It's on NBC and it premieres Thursday at 8:30. It's a comedy about a family who must deal with the announcement that their teen daughter is pregnant and engaged at the same time. Next, we have Reflection Corner, and since I originally was planning to air yesterday, I used yesterday's readings, and yesterday's feast day was St. Teresa of Lisieux. However, I could not find my St. Therese fact file, and I still haven't really had time to look for it. So this week you'll have to wing it with the saints, and then hopefully next time there's a saint, I will be able to have them all sketched out. So I'll just read you really quick the readings from yesterday, and add my own spin on the gospel if I get any inspiration. The first reading was from Zechariah. However, if your parish used the Saint of the Day readings, it would be from Isaiah. The Lord of hosts says this: "There will be other peoples yet, and citizens of great cities. And the inhabitants of one city will go to the next, and say, 'Come, let us go and entreat the favor of the Lord, and seek the Lord of hosts. I am going myself.' And many peoples and great nations will come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem, and to entreat the favor of the Lord. The Lord of hosts says this: In those days 10 men of nations of every language will take a Jew by the sleeve and say, 'We want to go with you, since we have learnt that God is with you.'" The psalm for yesterday came from Psalm 86, verses 1 through 7. If you were at Mass, your response would be, "God is with us," but here are the verses. "On the holy mountain is his city, cherished by the Lord. The Lord prefers the gates of Zion to all Jacob's dwellings. Of you are told glorious things, O city of God. Babylon and Egypt I will count among those who know me. Cilicia, Tyre, Ethiopia, these will be her children. And Zion shall be called mother, for all shall be her children. It is he, the Lord Most High, who gives each his place. In his register of peoples he writes, 'These are her children.' And while they dance they will sing, 'In you all find their home.'" And the Gospel is Luke 9, verses 51 to 56. As the time drew near for him to be taken up to heaven, Jesus resolutely took the road for Jerusalem and sent messengers ahead of him. These set out, and they went into a Samaritan village to make preparations for him. But the people would not receive him, because he was making for Jerusalem. Seeing this, the disciples James and John said, "Lord, do you want us to call down fire from heaven to burn them up?" But he turned and rebuked them, and they went off to another village. From what I get out of this gospel is pretty much it goes with the other gospel later in I don't know if it's Luke or another gospel writer, but it says that you won't be recognized in your own town. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from this reading is Jesus was turned away by all these people saying that he, was going in the wrong city, and that's something that we can remember when we have trials, or if someone doesn't accept what we have to say. Don't make a big deal out of it, just go with it. And just remember, dust your sandals off and move on. Some people are you can only plant the seed, you can't grow it for them. It's kind of like with gardening, you can't say, well, I'm not going to plant my tomatoes this year because God might not send any rain. You got to plant them and just go with it. If you get no tomatoes, you get no tomatoes. It's kind of like saying, I'm not going to walk to school because I might get hit by a bus. You got to get to school one way or the other. If you're going to get hit by a bus, it's going to happen. Obviously, you do your part by looking across the street before you cross it, but still. Yesterday's feast day, as I said, was St. Therese of Lisieux. I usually have a fact file of all the saints, but I didn't have time to find hers yesterday or today. I was supposed to do it last night, but I forgot. So hopefully next time is a saint on a Tuesday, I will have their fact card available to read about you. But St. Therese was known for her little ways. She was a very young nun that died very young as well. She lost her mother at a young age and shortly thereafter went into the convent. It took her a while to get her father's blessing, but he finally accepted it. And she's known for dealing with issues, and she's a very good patron saint of those who have troubling times or dealing with troubled people. She always teaches us to do small things in an extraordinary way, instead of trying to automatically reach for the extreme. Do the small steps, but do them well. She's pretty easy to find information on. She's actually the patron saint of Catholic TV, which is a Massachusetts-based TV station, which is kind of cool. We don't really have a St. Teresa of Lisieux parish. We had one in Manchester, but it closed and became Our Lady of Cedars. There is a St. Teresa's in Rye Beach, and there's also a St. Teresa's in Henniker. Whether or not there's St. Teresa of Lisieux or St. Teresa of another Teresa, they're still St. Teresa. Today's feast day is also the Feast of the Guardian Angels, so before you go to sleep, make sure you bless your guardian angel. Before I go, I do have one new thing that I'm starting. It's called the Fan of the Week. So if you want to be in the running for Fan of the Week, start commenting and or follow my Facebook page, Sunday Night Live with Mandy. And this week's Fan of the Week is Christine Truman. She's one of my pen pals, and she's very interested in learning about the saints that I started on this show, and she watches every week religiously, and she looks forward to every new episode. So congratulations, Christine, you are my Fan of the Week. See you next week.